Hi everyone, Jody Underhill here. Today we're going to go through exactly what you need to have set up and what you need to take with you whenever you go to do an overview or a speaking engagement. We've talked a lot about it. First of all, you want to have a room that holds about 20 to 25 people, and you want to invite enough people to fill it up. Actually, you probably want to overbook it so that you make sure the room is full. Even if it's not full, don't fret, it'll be fine. Even if we've done presentations to as few as 5 people and wound up closing business out of the room. So it doesn't matter how many show up, the main thing is go and do the first presentation. Get it scheduled as soon as you can, invite people to it, and do one to get it under your belt. Now, there are a few things that you need to have with you whenever you go so that you're prepared. You have a checklist to go through to show you all of the things that you need to have, but I'm going to show you how I pack for this, whether I'm doing it in the office next door or if I'm going across town or across the country to do a presentation. There's some of the things that I have here that I always have ready. Now, the first thing you want to do is the first thing you want to always make sure you have, may seem like a small thing or it's actually quite a large thing, you want to make sure that you have your computer. You want to make sure that it's charged up and it's ready to go and you have the presentation loaded on the computer. The next thing that goes hand in hand with that is you want to make sure that you have your power supply for your computer, because even if the battery's charged, who knows what may happen, something could happen to it. You always want to make sure you have your power supply with you. Now, to go along with that power supply, one of the things that I carry with me that sometimes people laugh about, and if Eric does the same thing, not laugh at me, but also does this, an extension cord. And this extension cord, as you can see, has 3 prongs on the end of it so that you can plug in your computer and a projector, and if there's anything else that needs to be powered like speakers or anything, you have more than one outlet there at the table. Now, if you don't have an extension cord like this, you can always get a regular extension cord and use a power strip that'll plug in like 5 or 6 things. But I like having it all in one thing. It makes it lighter and easy to carry around, although it is heavy duty. The next thing is if you're going to be using this extension cord and plugging it in yourself, you want to make sure that you have this. It's gaff tape. You want to have this gaff tape so that you can tape the cord down to make sure that no one trips over it. It's very important. Now, usually if you're doing this at a place that has a projector in the ceiling or whatever, you might not have to worry about that. But I've gotten to places, I've been in hotels before where we've done a presentation and they didn't have a cord to the table where we needed it, and we had to put it down and get it taped down. It saved us about 20 minutes of being late with a presentation because that's how long it would have taken them to get a cord to us. So gaff tape is very important. You don't want anybody getting hurt and kind of puts a damper on your presentation when somebody trips and hurts themselves. Now, I mentioned speakers. For the most part, you'll probably be doing presentations that don't have video, but if you're doing a presentation with video and you want the sound to be projected, these are little cube speakers. You can get them at Best Buy or Walmart or Office Depot or Staples. Just about any place that sells computers and computer accessories has these little cube speakers. They plug in with a USB and they work very well. I've used these in a room of like 50 people and they broadcast the sound just fine. So these little cube speakers, you may want, if you want to play the video, the Want More Customers video that you have access to before you do the presentation or at the end, you want to use these types of speakers. What else do you need to have? Well, you need to have a projector, and this is the projector that we use. We have one here in Greenville. We have one in our Florida office. This is just a regular standard, a little Epson projector. There's a little slide here for the lens to keep it protected, which is a good thing. We went and did one time. We had an older projector that wasn't protected. It got bumped and it showed up fuzzy the whole time we were doing the presentation. People got kind of seasick a little bit. But it's just regular Epson. Doesn't really matter the model. They're about $400 at any type of electronics store. They go all the way up to, you can get them for $1,200, but this one was like $400. It does everything you need it to. It shows up really bright. You'll be able to see it on the screen in a little bit whenever I take you next door and set up the meeting. Now, with this, the thing about these projectors is that they have very unique power cords. It's like a little double barrel deal here. And you want to make sure that before you leave, you have this power cord. Actually, I've gotten to a presentation before and not had the power cord. That's, we want to help you so that you don't make the same mistakes we did. I got there and didn't have it and had to have someone bring me the power cord and in this case, they don't just have these lying around. The next most important cord is the Vga cord, and this is a Vga cord. It's a standard cord that connects a screen to a desktop computer. You've seen these, you've plugged them in 100 times probably, but this is just a regular, it's male to male. It plugs into your computer on one end and into the back of the projector on the other end. Now, if you have a Mac computer, you'll have to have a special adapter, and I'll show you that in just a second. This will not plug into a Mac. A Mac has a special adapter. You'll need to find out, depending on what kind of computer you have, which kind of Mac, the adapter that's right for you. The one that utilizes for the MacBook Pro looks kind of like this. Actually, looks exactly like this. You see the block here where you plug the blue part in, and then this end plugs into the computer so that you can project the screen. And it goes out, connects the computer to the projector, voila, it works. Without this, with a Mac, you don't get projection. So that's the screen, the projector, the computer. Now, to go along with this, to make it look more professional, you can set it up, and I'll show you in a little bit. You can actually set it up and use your laptop and click the button to advance the slides. But I would suggest, if you can, if it's not too big of an imposition, this is about a $50 item. You probably get them cheaper than that. I've seen some as low as $30 at computer stores. And it's a remote control. And it has a couple of other pieces here. It has a USB drive that plugs into your USB port on your computer, and whenever you do that, you turn it on, and it has it allows you to advance the slides and back the slides up so that you can walk around, so that you don't have to keep going back to the computer and pushing the button. You can walk around, you can push the button, you can advance the slides, you can back them up. It just gives it that more professional feel. Also, it has a, I don't know if you can see this or not, it has a laser pointer in it. Here. Maybe if I do that, I don't know if you can see that from how bright the light is or not, but you can use that to point things on the screen. And it also comes with this little adapter so that you can plug the USB drive into here. The reason they do that is this is a little wider than if you need to plug two, because if you wanted to plug in your speakers and this, it wouldn't fit. So they give you this little adapter that's narrower so you can plug both things in to be able to utilize that. So that's the remote for advancing it and backing it up. Now, that's most of the technical aspects. Now there's a couple of other pieces that are also very crucial. One of them is, depending on where you're doing the presentation, you may have someone introduce you. And if they do, you want to make sure that they know how to introduce you and they know how to do it the right way. So I always carry with me an introduction, a little bio of me about what I do, and also it's got a picture so they know it's me, right? And here's what my bio says. Jody is a recognized social media expert and strategist, as well as a co-founder of Upside Down Iceberg, a fully integrated local marketing and social media marketing agency based in West Palm Beach, Florida. Works with local, national, international corporations on social media strategy for local marketing sales. Jody's been a guest speaker for international organizations, news organizations, events, and forums related to social media and online marketing to how to effectively integrate this into your overall marketing and business goals. And I work for a Fortune 250 company, yada yada, went to school, graduated from college. You want to have this, they may not introduce you, they may just say, we have a very special guest, it's Jody, and boom, there you are. Or they may want to do this. Always have this ready. Have it in your little go bag. The next thing is the evaluation form. Make sure that you carry about double the evaluation forms that you think you may need, because you want to make sure everyone has a chance to fill this out. They put their name, their address, would you like our newsletter, your aha for today's seminar, your comments on today's seminar, and then please contact me with more information on your full program. That's the big button. And thank you, I enjoyed the sneak preview of the program, but no need to contact me further. This is very important. This is why you're doing the presentation. Well, the one is to teach people and educate them on online marketing or mobile apps. And this is the next section is you want their feedback so that you can check, when they check the box, you're going to call them. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of those with you. So that's your bio and the feedback form. The other thing you want to make sure you have, everything's the other thing you want to make sure you have, is business cards. Make sure you have plenty of business cards so that they can take them with them so that they can know how to get back in touch with you if they'd like to. Always, always have plenty of business cards. Matter of fact, encourage the people in the room to exchange business cards so they can see you as a person that brought them all together. So you want to do that. Now, to fill out the feedback form, this is something that's very important for them to have. Pins. You want to make sure that everyone has a chance to fill it out and that there's no way they don't fill it out because they don't have a pen to do so with. You can buy these pins for like $5 for a box of 25 or 50 or whatever at the office supply store. It would be a shame to miss an evaluation form where someone really wanted to speak to you because you were afraid of them taking a 50-cent pen with them. Matter of fact, if you even get some and get them branded with your name on them, let them keep them. So, but in any case, always have pens available for them to utilize to fill out the form. The next thing that you want to make sure you have is a silver bullet. Well, actually, this silver bullet is a USB drive. You want to make sure you have a backup in case something happens, or files can get corrupted, things can happen to files that are on your desktop or on your computer. Always make sure you have this. What if your computer completely quits and you plug it in and nothing works? It's happened. So you want to make sure, so someone else has a computer there that you can plug in, you can take this USB drive and plug it in. So you're always prepared no matter what goes wrong. And believe me, things can go wrong. So if you have all of these things in place, the chances of you being caught without something working is going to be very, very slim. It's going to also give you that peace of mind. The other thing, I would rather have all this stuff done and be very prepared for what goes wrong and have nothing go wrong than not be prepared and then not be able to do the presentation. That sucks. Now, at the end of the presentation, you want to make sure that you have one of these available. This is a little pocket camera. This is a Kodak ZI-8. I don't know if they make these anymore, but now they make like the Kodak Play Touch or a flip camera. Doesn't matter. You want to have a camera. Now, why do you want to have a camera? To film yourself? No. If someone really enjoyed it, you want to tell them. As a matter of fact, if anyone would be willing to give me a quick testimonial, I'd love to do that. I'll feature your business. I'll let you say your name, the name of your business, and I'll feature it on my blog or on my YouTube channel. And do a quick video of them, do a video of their business, who they are, their business, let them do a quick plug for it, and then have them give you a testimonial. And it would sound something like this. Hi, my name is, and what I do is, the name of my company is, I was at the overview today and this is what I enjoyed about it. So it sounds something like this. Hi, I'm Jody Underhill with Upside Down Iceberg, and what I do is we help people get exposure online. I was at the overview today with Eric, and I was so impressed with the information that was provided. There were 2 or 3 key things that I can take and put to use in my business right now that will help me increase the number of sales that I have. So if you have the chance to attend the presentation that Eric does, by all means, you want to make sure to show up for that because it is very valuable. Something that simple. And then if you want to let them say something more about their company, they can, but the real thing is have this with you so that if you don't have a camera with you, you can't get it. Now, if you don't have this, if you have there's another video camera you might be able to use. How about this one, the iPhone, or if you have an Android or any type of phone that has a video camera in it, shoot it with this. It's fine, it'll work. The thing is, capture the testimonial if you can. Now, you're going to have some testimonials on the feedback forms as well that you can use in written form, but video format really makes it so that you can, you take that and capitalize on the fact of them doing that. Also, at the end, you want to encourage any of them, if they know anybody that would get benefit of it, to have them give them something that they can send out to them as well for your next event, if that would be okay. So I'm looking in my bag here. I think that pretty much covers the things that I was going to show you. So if you have all of that, you should be set. The only other thing I might tell you is if you may want to carry a bar with you or something, or matter of fact, I even I always have this with me, a little Pepto-Bismol, just in case you get the butterflies or you're feeling a little sick at your stomach. One other thing I always carry is I carry colored markers. You just never know when you need to color. Now, the reason I carry these markers is if there's a flip chart there and if you want to write something down or make a point or draw something out for someone from a question they have, it's always best to make sure you have your own markers instead of depending on them to have those markers. So I carry these with me everywhere, but you can't imagine how many times these markers have come in handy because I always have them with me. Does it make my backpack a little heavier? Yeah. Does it make it a pain to get through security sometimes? Yeah, but I'd rather go through a little bit of a pain at security than go through the pain of having something go wrong and not being able to give my presentation. So there you have it. That's all of the pieces that you really need to have in order to make sure your presentation is successful. You probably don't need all of them, but this is everything that you could possibly ever need in order to make sure that everything works right, other than maybe some tables or chairs. So let's go over and take a look at what it looks like when you set all of this up. Usually whenever you get to an event place where you're going to be doing an event, you'll see it set up similar to this. You'll have a table typically to put your projector and your computer on. Sometimes it'll be portable, sometimes it won't. Usually they'll have an extension cord run over to the table, but in case they don't, I'm going to go over a couple of things you want to be sure and look at. And they'll typically have a screen put up. If they don't have a screen, this one, I bought this screen for like $60. So this is actually in a meeting room here in my office that we have set up to actually do presentations. But I don't leave it set up all the time, and I'll show you why. Because I don't want to leave cords everywhere. So if you get to the event and you look, where would you run a cord from? If this is going to be your projector and the audience is going to be over here, you could either run it from a receptacle over here on this wall, or you could run it from behind the screen. I would choose to run it from behind the screen. So the first thing I would do is take my handy dandy cord, unroll it, unravel it, and plug it in and tape it down. Starting from obviously the end where you need the plug, taking as much slack as possible behind the screen where no one's going to be walking. Plug that in, throw this back here. Now the only person that's probably going to trip over this would be you. So now I'm going to take the gaffing tape that we talked about earlier. I'm going to take it out of here, and we're going to tape it down. And just for the purposes of the video, I'm not going to tape it all the way back, but really right around the point where the main foot traffic would be. So I'd probably put a couple pieces here just to make sure that it stays down really well. And this happens to be Gorilla Tape. You don't have to go quite that strong. If you want to, you can, it's great. It sticks really well to the carpet and doesn't move. So you tape the cord down, and I go ahead and take out the projector. Set it about where it's going to be projecting. Plug the power cord in. Remember, it's a special cord that only fits this projector, so you have to make sure you have the right one. And I'll take that and plug it in. And I'll go ahead and turn it on because I want to be able to look at the screen here in just a minute. And then I'll take my laptop computer, and I choose to put it so that my computer is beside the side that doesn't have the hot air coming out, because it can really heat up your computer if you do it the other way around. All right, now I'm going to take my trusty dusty VGA cord and the adapter that I talked about utilizing that goes with a Mac I have right here. So I'm going to connect this to the VGA cord. The reason I don't have them travel together is I don't always use the same device. And whether I've been in San Diego before and needed to have this adapter. Actually, I was in London a couple of months ago and needed to have this adapter. So you always want to carry the adapter with you if you have a Mac. And you come over here, you want to go to Component, Out, Blue to Blue. Connect that. Come over here, connect that. And suddenly my screen should appear up there. As it's thinking, and there we go. Now, as you can probably see from the computer monitor, that's not quite where what I want it to be. So I focus it, and I'm going to back up, and I have a little trigger in the front that allows me to set the projector at the level that I want it to be at. So if it's not completely there, they have this little tombstone effect that you can make it go to where you get it square, set up, and you're ready to go. So in just a minute, we'll look at setting everything else up. The only thing really left to do is to plug in the remote control. And like I said, you don't have to have this. I mean, it would be feasible to stand here, do the presentation, walk over, and push the button to advance it. So it's not the end of the world. And the other good thing about having the computer this way is that I can see what's on the screen looking at the audience without having to look behind me. It's what is behind me on the screen. But I'm going to go ahead and connect this. In this case, I don't need the extender, so I can just take it, plug it straight into the computer, turn it on, and it syncs up automatically. And as you can see, I can advance through the slides. So now let's take a look at me actually giving this presentation.